So we studied with Yossi for the full first year, both my husband and I together, so we would get on the phone in the evenings. We just started studying with Partners in Torah and getting to know one another. We talked each week. It was a very interesting experience for us. He told us we don't know why we're put on this earth and for how long, but that it's important what we do during the time that we're here.
He cared about people.
That giving is the best way of receiving in terms of learning Torah. That was Yossi. The V'ahavta l'orecha kamocha, learning and loving a fellow person, is the legacy that Yossi gave us.
Yossi was the type of guy who would say something to you, tell you an halacha that unless you were really learned, you wouldn't know, but it would stick with you forever.
He was born to his parents after having 3 sisters. So he was like a Ben Zokin in a sense, but yet never spoiled.
So I welcomed Yossi being in the family as a brother. Of course, the lifestyles that we both kept didn't allow us to get together too often.
My name is Jay Buxbaum. I am VP Marketing, Director of Wine Education for Kedem Royal Wines. I've known Yossi. We started within 1 week of each other.
We were interviewing 3-4 people, young people, for the job of a salesman of a certain specific territory. And Yossi, Olav Shalom, sitting in the lobby with a Mishnayos, waiting his turn.
And Mr. Herzog saw him as he passed by because he was waiting for the interview, asked who that fellow is. And they said, it's Yossi Pressburger looking for a job interview. He's waiting for a job interview. When he came in, he got the job for the purpose of seeing that he's a fellow who does not waste time.
I had a unique relationship with Yossi, Olav Shalom. I worked with him for 8 to 9 years, and anybody who worked with Yossi will call their relationship unique, inspiring, amongst many other things. He was always a voice of reason. He was aggressive in the way he pursued his business, but it was always done with the priority of Hashem and Yerushalayim first.
His whole she'if and his life was to be a better Jew, but he wasn't a shlemiel. He was also a very successful businessman.
He would be on a business trip and he would leave at 5 in the morning and come back at 11 at night and try to cram in as much business as possible, but he davened mincha with minyan.
He had a job. He was always with his family. He was always taking care of other people's families.
People didn't really know many of the things that he's done during the course of his day and lifetime.
He was involved with 4 different Chevra Kadishas.
I asked Yossi about his various good works, and he advised me about how to get into and learn about doing Tahara and the work of a Chevra Kadisha.
I was his boss, and yet the relationship we had was, he was my Rebbe. I was his boss in business, but in Ruchnias, he would tell me, why don't we make another minyan? Why don't we do this? Why don't we, let's create a new special minyan. Let's do say Kapitel Tilim. Let's learn a Mishnah. He was always inspiring all of us to do and to do. If we were on trips together, he would excuse himself.
He was on his cell phone, and I don't know why, all of a sudden he says, oh, hold on guys, I'm being pulled over by the cops. And he said, I'll have to call you back.
Then he needed an hour to leave a dinner meeting or any other business meeting to do Partners in Torah.
For years he's been telling me that he's been a partner in Torah.
Jay seems to be somebody who has learned his entire life. I began learning in adulthood.
And so I decided, you know, I gotta step up here. So I became a partner in Torah.
A lot of the passion that I've seen when I've learned with Jay, so it's clear he's gotten that passion from many people, including Yossi.
Yossi Petira was in Detroit on a business trip, completely unexpected.
The night that he passed away, we were waiting for his phone call, in fact. And then that night I got a phone call from Partners in Torah letting us know that he had passed away, and it was just like a shock, I can't even tell you. I just stood on the phone saying, what are you telling me?
A co-worker here came over to me and said, just shook his head, I can't believe what I just heard. And I'm just afraid I'm going to break up just telling this story. Everyone stopped, everyone froze.
There was a snowstorm coming. Some anonymous person in Detroit paid for a plane to come from there to here to bring Yossi. And we had such a big levaya for Yossi. He was a Rosh Hashiva that day.
I have to tell you that I cried night after night for probably 3 to 4 weeks after he passed away.
Yossi packed into those 48 years probably more than somebody living 120.
What he's given his family has been really a tremendous legacy of love, learning, and chesed for many, many years.
He has 4 boys and another 2 girls. All of them are grappling and understanding and coming to terms with Hashem's decision.
He's so young, all of 6, maybe 7. When he comes up to the bima to say Kaddish, he's potter, he's a cotton. But Moshe Yehuda stays with his brothers. He says a Kaddish with every word, with meaning.
And it's always like, you know, like we'd be planning to do a family get together, and then like I can't come because, you know, I have to do a Torah. And we were okay with it because like we understood like how great of a thing it was. I remember him saying that he wants us to continue doing this, the Chevra Kedisha, try to bring us into it over time. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that, but I remember him saying for a fact that he wants us to.
The biggest support we can give to Shuli and the children is to do acts of chesed.
I think Yossi was a person who understood the value of time.
Yossi Pressburger made it inexcusable for anybody not to become a partner in Torah, not to give at least an hour, give some time to teaching Torah to others.
What I found out from Rabbi Gewirtz and from Partners in Torah is that there's not enough mentors. There's more people interested in expanding their horizons than there are already, quote, already committed people.
He was always inspiring all of us to do and to do. The 2 big things that stand out was his involvement with Partners in Torah. I knew about it, and I've heard many times his stories, and he would tell me, Yochi, why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? It's just, and now might be the time for me to sign up, and hopefully many other people will sign up tonight too.
He took the time, and he didn't have time because he was so busy.
He used to prepare for it, and it was very dear to him. Like I remember sitting down, preparing for it, and like he would take it very seriously. Like some calls he would just take in the house, but this like you like go like, you know, like into a room like when no one was there, like not to be disturbed. And it was a very serious thing. He's doing it for as long as I can remember.
For us, having to take a new partner was difficult, extremely difficult. And our partners now are wonderful people, but there's a hole in our heart from missing Yossi.
As we go through life, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Of course it means don't waste your time business and, you know, wise and working wise, but really more importantly, don't waste your time in contributing. Do it for yourself. Sign up.
We hope that by continuing study and by doing things in his memory, in Yossi's memory, we're making a good honor in his name.
Thank you so much and continue your great work.